Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for the new moon in Gemini. So May the 22nd. Well, depending where you are. I think it might be the 23rd somewhere, but I think mainly the May the 22nd, depending where you are in the world. Now, this is quite a complicated new moon, so I'm not going to dive into the astrology for it greatly, because there's loads of professional astrologers here on YouTube who have done it so much better than me. And if you want to see their interpretations of it, there's a link down below for my for the Facebook group for this channel, and I post all of their videos there as well. Now, this is a bulk introduction. So you can watch more than one of them, because watch your sun, watch your moon, watch your rising, like I say every single time. And if you don't know what your moon and rising are, there's a link down below as well for a free birth chart. It's really important to watch your rising, because then you also know what house the new moon or whatever event is occurring in. As long as you know what your rising or ascendant is, that'll explain a lot. Right, so being a general reading rules apply. If there's another person who features in here, which don't often, but it does happen, roles can be reversed. I can assume I'm talking about them and I'm talking about you, and vice versa, because the cards don't come with name tags. Timing is hardly absolute. This is a weird new moon, because you could say its energies last for 2 weeks, because the full moon is a lunar eclipse, so that will supersede the new moon energy. However, new moons set things, they plant things, they start the creation of things. So there's a cycle from this new moon in Gemini to the full moon in Gemini, which I assume is about 6 months down the line. I assume they're about 6 months away. Are they? Yeah, I'll assume. I'm sure it's not. No, it's about a month away, isn't it? Anyway, I'll work that out later. Brain is obviously not firing on all cylinders right now. Like I say, general reading. However, this reading either is for you or it isn't, because it does have a bit of a past and a present. So if the past and the present don't fit, it's a Celtic cross spread. It's the way I read. It's not really a take what resonates, leave the rest. It's either take the lot or don't. You know, but what I would like you to do is ask a question beforehand. So pause the video if you have to, take a moment to think about all of the questions that surround you. Focus on one of them, because energy in, energy out. Basically you focus, hopefully gives the reading energy, and I return that to you in the reading. But be aware of all of the questions, because the cards will answer whatever they please to, and not necessarily what you and I think is the most important question. Now back to this new moon in Gemini. It is a moon that is seeking to find the truth. It is the Gemini energy is one that likes to look at things from both sides, take things to bits to, you know, examine it, separate them so they can join them back together again. But at the same time, we've got Venus retrograde square Neptune. Plus, we've got all the other retrogrades that are occurring, Saturn, Jupiter, all of those that are going on, so that you need to be aware that really it's truth that's close to home. It's personal truth that you are trying to find. And also, what is true right now might not still be true in 2 or 3 weeks' time. You know, however it works, it might not still be true. So it's personal truth in the moment, living in the now. You know, that's always a good new age hippie concept, isn't it? Living in the now. And I think this new moon in Gemini certainly is going to give us an opportunity to examine our nows and see, are we really living in it, and what do we want to change if we are? Okay, so that's enough waffle out of me. Like I say, look at the astrologers videos in the Facebook group. Now, in that Facebook group, you can message me directly if you want a personal reading. You can also message me through Twitter and Tumblr. The details are down below. Other than that, please press the like button if you like the reading, or the subscribe button. Definitely the subscribe button. It really helps the channel, or as Namaste TV call it, the Google politics. But let me shut up now and bring up the cards for you. Well, Scorpio, and welcome to Scorpio Rising and Scorpio Moon after the timestamp if you've just joined us. This entire reading seems to be focused around the concept of personal work. When I said the new moon in Gemini is all about personal truth, I think you are needing to look at some personal truth about yourself. Now, do not take this the wrong way, because I'm believing that this personal truth will be a lot more positive than what you're thinking. Self-worth seems to be the theme here. Spirit is bringing in 8 of Pentacles clarified by 6 of Pentacles. So, well, 8 of Discs clarified by 6 of Pentacles. So, working hard at discovering the value of something. Now, that's with Venus in Taurus, that's what the whole astrological cycle with Venus in Taurus is about. Venus retrograde in Taurus is going back and checking it. It's a lot more than that, but as a layman's understanding, we have the self-worth oracle card here with oath, which is an interesting one, and I'll get to that later. But we also have, what do you need to release? Because where I see you at the minute is as if there's a lot of energy and nowhere to put it. We have the Princess of Cups, which can be a new dream or a love offer that's presented to you, and there's 2 of you stood there going, this is great, now what do we do? Because your own feelings seem to be, yeah, I don't think it's been a successful time recently. I don't think the harvest that I have created has been of any use to me, and I'm bored of this, and I am looking for another way. 7 of Discs, failure, clarified by the 4 of Cups. And I believe that you're bored of how things are going at the moment, and you are looking for another way, but you've got all this energy and no get up and go to use it because of the way that your mind is working at the minute. It's almost like you're feeling, you know, I've tried to nurture myself and I've taken every option that I could see, and none of them really panned out for me that well. Now, I've got good news because there's a whole new set of options coming up, but that's a whole new set of options if you start taking charge and stop listening to the wisdom of something that is long dead. Your opposition here is the Star with the 3 of Pentacles. So you may be finally getting some recognition in something that it doesn't matter anymore. You know, it's almost that horse has bolted. You know, there's that recognition, that approval maybe that you are seeking. The person who can give that permission or approval or what have you, they're not there anymore. They don't care. The Oath card talks about keeping your promises, and if anyone has made a promise to you and broken it, oh well. And then simple as that. Oh well, let them go. They've shown their worth. You show yours by keeping your promises, but don't worry about what they've done to you. It reminds me of a passage out of the Tao Te Ching. If you look at your, I think it was the Mars Transit videos, I don't know if this was in your video or in someone else, but the wise man keeps his side of the bargain and cares not if the other person keeps their side of the bargain or not, because what is important is that the wise man keeps his, so that he knows his side is tickety-boo, end of story. But if you actually lift these chains, because whatever your goal was, that nurturing aspect, that earthy nurturing aspect, that is continuing, and it's coming more into prominence. In the past, it was almost a half-hearted, I don't see what option I can use, I don't see how I can go forward. in the future, you are doing that self-nurturing with style. You know, we've gone from the clarification card, Queen of Pentacles, to the Queen of Discs as the main card, clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. There's a new beginning for you here that you have to start. And you have to start it by keeping the promises that you made to yourself. It doesn't matter about, well, I mean, it does matter about promises you've made to other people, but more importantly are the promises that you've made to yourself. Yeah, you've been looking for another way, but I do believe that part of those answers are already there for you with this Princess of Cups. There's some form of new direction, new offering, new opening that has come forward to you. Okay, that's a temptation for you to come out of your shell. Now, I wasn't aware that, Scorpio, you very often retreated into a shell. But if you have, now's the time to step out of it a little bit. Because there can be direction offered to you, but that hand that's holding the two necklaces, nooses, that's the word I'm looking for, nooses here, it's not got any pressure in it whatsoever, it's just holding them. And I feel that that hand is waiting for these two people to say, right, we're going that way. To use an X-Men reference, a bit like Ahab getting led by his hounds. He may control them, but he lets them lead him because that's what their job is. If that means anything to you, great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. But because it was the Devil card, in the shuffle video, I got one of the Demon Possessed Tarot to clarify it. We got Marchosius with the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is saying, nearly there. Yeah, you've got your wounds. Of course you have. You're going to get a few bumps and bruises and scratches on your way. That's the whole point of the journey. It's going to happen. But you are very, very nearly there. Now, Marchosius here is saying a strong and faithful fighter follows all commands and answers all questions. The commands need to come from you. And right now, I believe that you're not feeling necessarily in a space of, yeah, well, if I command anything, nothing's going to come of it. But the first person you command is yourself. So, keep the promises of doing things. Don't necessarily keep the promise of, well, if I tell myself to do it, I'm not going to do it anyway. You know, that's negative reinforcement. Yeah, it might be keeping a promise, but what good does it do you? There's going to be those moments where you have said, I am going to do better, or I am going to achieve this, or I am going to sort that, I am going to whatever, you know, whether it's to sort your laundry or have a new life. You know, there's keep those promises to yourself is a really strong message here, because it's almost like someone else has stepped back from you while they're waiting for you to sort through your own illusions and then slowly show the path into a new land. And like I say, there's a feeling of you are expected to lead here in this Devil card, and I've got the same here. On the Moon card, there's this pathway through to another land that we cannot see. But where the source of life is, that's the Moon in front of the Sun there. So you are the one that's supposed to be leading the way. But even the Goetia here has given us the Six of Pentacles. Look at your value. Look at the value that you have to yourself and look at the value that you have to others. Because certainly somebody has stepped back and gone, all right, why are you feeling that way? I'll just get out of the way. But I don't think you necessarily want them out of the way. You want to be surging ahead with them following your coattails. The angel energy that covers all of this reading, we have the Archangel Michael. I stand for justice and truth. I live from my integrity. And that's the message that I'm picking up. Live from your integrity. Because if you say you was going to do something, do it. Those promises that have been positive ones that you've made to yourself, fulfill them. Keep those promises, because it's almost like, yeah, I get offered a new way and I set off with a new dream and it doesn't necessarily get me anywhere. Why am I going to make this offer to somebody, or am I going to set off on a new dream just to find out it's the same boring crap as it was before? Not if you do it in the right way. I mean, it is all attitude to a certain extent, but there is, like I say, with this triumphant Queen of Discs here, clarified by the Ace of Pentacles, there's a whole new beginning coming for you there. Yeah, I'm a tarot reader saying there's a new beginning, but a new beginning in attitude, and a new beginning, the new beginning in attitude is here. It's the moment in the present where you start saying, okay, what do I have control over? Then let me control it. Because with these two cards, it's very easy to abdicate your responsibility and say, yeah, well, even if I try and control it, nothing's going to happen. And you have to avoid just reacting to your lower nature, and that's what Pegasus is telling me, is the archontic force that's trying to suppress you. But as for the gods trying to support you, my word, you had oodles of cards come out. So let's have a look here. We have Laertes with faithfulness. So again, there's that image of staying true to your word, following through with what you have promised to yourself and what you need to do to work to boost that self-worth a little bit. We have Zeus with supremacy. Now, what was I just saying about declaring control over the things you actually have control over? Now, it may well be that there has been some form of conflict or some form of argument or hardship that's been going on around you that has affected you. I don't think you're directly involved in it, but you are certainly affected by it. But the effect of that is a good thing. Do not be despondent. Eris with strife here is supporting you. So whatever that conflict and chaos is, whatever that people acting to their lower natures is around you, don't get drawn into the acting to the lower nature, but notice what opportunities it gives you or what examples it gives you. Maybe there's a point where you suddenly go, through your faithfulness, no, I'm sorry, that's a step too far, and you stand your own ground on something, and that is the start of you following through and keeping these promises to yourself. And finally, we have Medusa with the feminine principle. So be receptive to wisdom, but living wisdom, not the wisdom of a long dead cold thing that doesn't really care and didn't really care anyway. This star, she's not even looking towards you. You know, she's busy with her own stuff. Whatever it is, that is not a that is not wisdom that is worth the sound that carries it or the paper that it's written on. There was another thing I just got from it. What was it? It is not a form of wish fulfillment that is worth your while either. That's because I feel like in the past you felt like you was making the best out of bad options. 7 of Cups there, 7 of Cups here. But again, although the decks are transposed, this time that 7 of Cups is a little bit miserable. You know, and again, it was listening to your lower nature. It's got the slogan debauch on the bottom of it. Whereas from the clarification deck here, we have 7 of Cups from... Now, doesn't that look like a lot nicer? Do you know what I mean? There are better options coming forward for you. So I've done them. I've done them. Right. Now, I've given you a right telling off on this reading, haven't I? But there's a reason. And there's a reason why this feeling dejected and feeling powerless has come up for you. Because it's to show you the ins and outs of how you can feel like that and where you have been feeling like that and not knowing. you know, and not paying attention, where it's all been subconscious processes. We have darkness, the long night moon, which can be indicative of a time of creation and also of the dark night of the soul, you know. So this is certainly a gloomy night of the soul, but I think it might have been a gloom that has been there for a while, but it's needed to rise to the surface for you to really pay attention to it again, where Eris has been working in your favour to help, by circumstance, bring these feelings to the top. But the next thing is we have the unexpected. So something is going to happen for the better here. You need to be in a headset to receive it with Medusa, the feminine, to take your power with this Emperor card. But you need, when it comes, you need to be in the, yes, right, I can use this, but patience is also required. So either it's going to be a while before this unexpected thing comes and there's the new start, or when this unexpected thing comes, it will be a little while before its use and its value will be immediately obvious. But when that value kicks in, when it becomes active, there may be a delay here, because we also have Schlegiel, the angel of snow, the one who can find joy in the most cold and barren of surroundings. Plains of snow, just cold and miserable and wet and cold, and Schlegiel dances through them singing, finding beauty in everything that he sees around him. Maybe there's a little message in there that things ain't as bad as what you've been feeling. So I hope this means something to you, Scorpio. If it does, comment down below, press the like and subscribe button while you're passing, but definitely do comment. And if it does mean something to you, chin up, it's gonna be good. It is this, I love this Queen of Discs, Ace of Pentacles. What I didn't do is the final outcome cards, did I? So we have Adjustment, which is the Justice card, which is a very striking, it's almost like it's just 1 minute it's not there and then suddenly this Justice figure is there, but clarified by the King of Pentacles, grounded. And as I often say, the King of Pentacles is all that, and that's you coming into your role of mastery over your, you know, bringing not just attitude. The Emperor is one of the major arcana. It's one of the more, all of the major arcana can be considered quite ephemeral. The kings, they're real world. Certainly the King of Pentacles is real physical world. So this is going to stand profit to you. And if there is strife that's going on around you, that may have noticed you with this Three of Pentacles here, you're going to benefit from this in the long term. Okay, now comment down below. All right, so I don't know what your next reading will be. I haven't planned that far. It's not long till the monthlies come out. Otherwise, good luck, chin up. See you later.